We'll be getting started here just shortly. I'm getting everything set up. I'm not sure what to put in the background, you guys. I need background noise.
Hold your own survival crafting.
Okay, I think we're good. This should work. I'm gonna turn down his noise a little bit. And separate this. Close Twitter. Turn off autoplay. Okay. There we go. Alright, we should be good. Alright, so you're here to see me work on a new cosplay. This is a commission somebody asked me to do for them. And basically I don't have anything to work from here except I'm gonna open up. I need to move some files from my phone onto the computer really quick. Let's see here. Can I have them organized by date? Because I have a lot of downloads on my phone. So this is going to be Project Bird Dog. I think that's what I'm going to call it. I think that's what they call it. And let me see here. Where's the file at? I know it's on here. There it is right there. Okay. Gonna move that onto the desktop. Close that out. And then, yeah, you guys can probably see this. So we're making a transformer here from Beast Wars, which I have never done before. They're very I think they were NURBS. They think they were NURBS whenever they were first created. So they're very kind of curvy. And let me turn this back off. I've never done a transformer from Beast Wars before. I have worked on ones from the movie, ones from the games, but never one from Beast Wars. So, let me open up, since you guys can see this, I should have, a few more files for reference here. So those are his feathers, those weapons, those are his feathers. And she probably didn't send me any transformed pictures, so you won't get to see that. But there's the face. It's gonna be interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm not sure if she wants to put fur on top of these. There's Black Arachnia with him. Alright, he's got his tail feathers on his back. There's a shot of his back there. Another shot of the back or the side. Tail feathers. Oh, alright, we're back there. Okay. What was the beginning? This one? Let's start with this. We're going to start with these folding joints that are right outside of his chest, on the edge of his chest, because that's as broad as his chest is going to be. So I'm going to minimize that. We're going to let's just use, I should have a default human on here somewhere. It says it's in here. There it is. Alright. So this is my base. You see me use this in a lot of my cosplay streams. Basically, this is something to work from. So that I can just build on top of this. So we're going to start by making this transparent. And okay, it's already doesn't have show frozen gray, so we're going to go ahead and freeze it. Let's do that. Basically, even though I don't have their measurements yet, I'm going to use this as a general reference for starting building this costume. And since we're starting with those joints, those are cylinders. I'm going to go ahead and just make something really quick. And then with that image, I'm going to move this onto my other screen. My other monitor over here. They are I'm going to lower the radius. It's about that big because it fits in his hand, and we know that her hands are not going to be much larger. So as long as it's proportionate to the person, we should be good. Height is a little bit less. We're going to move this up here, and then we're going to make that shorter. That looks about right. Okay. And that's going to hang over the arm a little bit. That's the most outside edge of the chest, and that's going to make the chest look bigger than it actually is, because, you know, broad shoulders and all that. So that is step one, and we'll leave it this distance from the chest. That's fine for starting. And then looking at some of the other images, I need a clearer shot of his chest here. Alright, so we're swapping over to this image here. This is a nice clear shot of his chest. And I think I may need to watch the series again for some of these. I'm gonna start with a sphere. We're gonna put this Actually, you know what? We're not. We're gonna copy this, rotate it, and on his pelvis, this is gonna be our guide. So where your leg bends, it kind of goes up like this number here. This is going to be, it's going to go up a little bit more. So that way when they sit down, there's room. This is the top of his like tabard right there that just sits in front of him. And I think I want to build that really quick before I move on to the abs. Yeah, alright, so here's a nice shot here. This is pretty. And that's full size. Yeah, okay. Very old series, so everything is very low quality. And you can see the tips of his wings here. Those are the feather weapons that he has. Let's build this tabard. I'm going to start... It looks like his legs are clipping into it. Right there. I don't think that's part of the tabard. I think that's his legs clipping into it. I think it's supposed to be a smooth thing until you get down here. So I'm going to go ahead and make it just that. We're going to start with the plane. And then it goes, let's see. And then right off the bat, let's go ahead and save bird dog 01. And I want this at 0. I think that this amount of polygons will be plenty of detail. So this piece right here, the bottom of it's going to be, let's take a look. So the back of the knee is right here. That's going to be, we're going to cheat a little bit on his knees because his thighs are, here's the thing with robots. For some reason, they give them long shins. This is not proportionate to a person. The femur, remember, is the longest bone in your body. That's your thigh. Look at how short his thigh is here. Furthermore, his thigh usually will be a little bit higher than ours. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat, and the silver cylinder that looks like it's his knee on the top is going to be above the human's knee, and we're going to use probably that silver rotating thing on his shin, his calf, as where the actual knee is going to be. Give the illusion of the bigger thing. So that means that this is going to go down to probably right about there. And then we're gonna appropriately move these parts to make the correct shape. So you can see this one's not zeroed here. Let's do that really quick. It's gonna bother me otherwise. There you go. Oh, how long is this? 5 and 1832. A little over 2.5. About right. Okay. Swap back to this one. And I think that's the width we want for that tabard for now. We're going to spread these polygons out a little bit, these vertices, that way we can do that number. I think that's a little bit too much in the middle. Probably something like that. I think that looks about right. And then while we're here, let me move that up here. And he's got a little gap, interestingly enough, right in the center. Does that number? We can, that's fine. Alright, so there's his tabard. There you go. And this is such a nice photo here. I'm gonna zoom into it a little bit. He has like a no, that's a hexagon for his chest. Six-sided. That's it's just a cylinder. There you go. Yep, that's what his chest looks like. It goes... I'm gonna actually leave it where it was. So this is so weird. Let's center this really quick. And I don't know if I want this wide. This is... Alright, so his chest is super weird. He's got extra parts that are gonna need to be slightly visible on the side here. More cylinders right here, like little tank thing, little foldovers. And... This actually may work, because those tuck in right there. And then we're going to, oops, do that. And that'll give us that weird shape. That's why I moved it back. You can see it's offset. That's one of the reasons why I left it there. Okay. I think that is about the correct shape there. So I'm going to leave this as it is right now, all square, which is inaccurate. But we're going to leave that like that for now. We're going to bring that forward, center with the front of that. It's gonna overhang quite a bit here on the front. And then we're going to copy this cylinder again. And move this right here. And this looks to be about the correct size for this as well. We're gonna line it up so it's kind of flush with these two angles here. And then we're going to move it. Let's say it's probably about there. And it needs, I think it needs a little dome cap on the top of this one. I think that's the case. Let's do a tiny sphere here. And we're going to go down to I think 8 will be enough for this. It's a very, I mean, this is a pretty small piece. I'm going to increase the radius a little bit. That way it intersects at all of these different points. Right there, I think. Sorry, I have the sniffles. My allergies are killing me today. I'm trying to mute myself so you don't hear it. Okay. So now we have our little dome in the front of this. Right there. And we are going to delete those. Okay. Select off. There we go. Now we have our little dome cap on that. Okay. I'm going to make another sphere for his tummy here. Right about, I want to say there, because it's got a big ring that's another inch out that is those claws. And this one is going to have, I think 16 is plenty. Let's take a look here. And compare it to the, yeah, that 16 is plenty. Alright, so that's that. And then also, I'm going to count, well, while we still have this as a sphere, I want to count how many claws he has around. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He has 12. So actually, if I reduce this to 12 sides, there's going to be a claw in front of each one of these segments, and that's going to make it easy when it comes to construction. And it's not going to look any less circular. So, this will be his tummy, which is going to be squashed in quite a bit. I think that we're going to put that there, and we're going to save as a plus now because this is actually going to start to get complicated. There we go. Poly. Same thing as before, we're going to delete the back half, and then we're going to take this and we're going to, no, that's not going to work enough. Alright, then I need to increase the fall off here. Think about to where it was. Right about there. I think that should be good. Let's take a look here. We're going to move that back out. Oops. Turn off that. Turn off that. Move this. Here. I'm going to take a look at that. So this is not concave. This is still coming out, which is what I wanted. I want a little dome. I may pop this out just a little bit more, just the one vertex. I think I will actually. Let's do that really quick. Just like that. I like having a little bit of a point on there. And now we get to make these claws that are around this circle in his stomach here. And they have to make 12 of these, so I'm not going to make them too complicated. But they have to look good too. So we're going to start again, I think, with another sphere. And also, before we do that, this is going to rotate like that because he has his spikes are vertical and horizontal. He has a cross of top and bottom. So that just means there's two in between. Yep. Okay, so that's perfect. So we just had to rotate that. Now we can do our claw. So that's going to be probably about that big. It's going to get moved away a little bit. I might make the base a little bit bigger actually. Let's move it farther because it's going to come pretty close to the ones next to it. There's a little bit of a gap between them. I think that'll be enough there. And then we're going to move it up here. And I think this one was 8. Let's go back down to 8 here. Yeah. These are very small pieces. I'm thinking 6. Let's do 6. And then I'm going to play with this model. We're not gonna leave it like this. We're gonna have to add some vertices. So I want this to end up about that height right there. We're going to move this, let's say here. I think that's a good distance. We'll probably just add one row here. So if I go into slice plane, look at that, it's already in a decent position. Put that generally in the middle. We're going to slice. We're going to turn off the slice plane. Look, we have new vertices here. Perfect. Now, go back up to the top. I want these. Let's actually start with that. Tiny bit smaller, and then a bit smaller again. And now, it's funny because I'm looking at the model and it actually looks like these are almost horizontal. I'm going to see what that looks like here in a second. That's too much. I actually like it coming out kind of straight there. Let's come out of this for a second and make this transparent for now. Oh. Wrong thing. There we go. Okay. And there's this little banana claw. That actually looks very similar to what's on the model here. Here you go. Once we add more all the way around, it's going to give an effect that they look a little bit more curved than they are. Let's do that really quick. Let's make 12 of them. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna see if I can finagle this. Let's save it really quick, and then we're going to, which one is it? This one. Affect the pivot. We're gonna move the pivot down into the center of the sphere here, and then outside the pivot, we're going to copy 30 degrees. Should be 11. Oops, 11. Go. There you go. Beautiful. Is that not beautiful? So they are perfectly aligned all the way across this thing based on where we just placed it in the center of the sphere. We could actually find out where the center of the sphere is, but we did not. We just did that. Let's take a quick look at that. Looks pretty good. Let me back up to the full body shot that we had of him. So here's what we have so far. This looks a little bit longer already, doesn't it? So this may end up getting shortened here in a bit. I may do that right quick. There you go. That's better. That's much better. Alright, so that looks much better. Edges of these are fine. I'm not worried about the middle. This looks good. That looks good. And that looks good. We have a similar perspective here than we do on here. This actually looks really good so far, including the depths of the objects over here. So I think we're in a good point to save. So next up, let me see about a close-up on his chest. That one there's fine. So he's got another cylinder on top of this. Also, there's more detail here. You see this? This is his hexagon, and then he's got the thing on the inside. Interesting. So I may need to make a secondary thing on the inside. This is so weird. See, you can't see this. I think this is this someone's a fan model? Is that what this is? I'm curious now. If that's why this is so clean, it's because it's not from the show. Look, it doesn't have these on there either, the little silver tabs. I may not be able to use this then if it's not accurate. Okay, well, let's use this one. Let's put this in. It's gonna be thicker than the others. He's got so many cylinders, you guys. Okay. Increase the radius a bit. I'm gonna move my picture on the other side so I can see it again. There we go. And the height is actually about right. Let's just set that on top for now. I think that looks pretty close. Okay. Now what else I want to do is, it's got these shoulder chest pieces. Okay. Excuse me, I'm gonna go AFK for a second. It was only 1 second, I promise. I think, let me find a couple more pictures here. Let us I'm gonna make this weird shape that's beside his head. And this is not going to be fun for the cosplayer because they aren't going to be able to move their head much. He's got like plates here. Go up to his ears. Or where their ears would be. His ears start at the top of a person's ears. So let's start with the box here. It's actually going to be like that on both sides of his head. And the front of it is probably going to be there, and some of it moves back. Alright, so I'm going to immediately do this because we're going to tweak this a lot. This goes to the jaw, comes forward just a bit, and that should be correct for that. And then we just need polygon here. It's fine. I'm going to put that back to, let's say, the back for now. It's kind of hard to see how far it goes. Oh, we have this top shot. It goes pretty far. We're going to actually extend it because he has a bit of a backpack with his feathers and everything. And I think this is going to be important in the structure for that. So we're going to put that to about there, I think. That should work. And that is that. Okay. Back to the front. I'm intentionally avoiding all of the organic shapes right now. I do kind of want to do his head a little bit. Let's tackle this shape on his chest right here, this crest thing. Start with another box. Just draw a box. Doesn't matter. So we are going to I'm gonna have to start with the bottom of the box, I think. Oh, interesting. In this shot, his these are lower. They're down to like here. Look at this. They're down here. But every other shot they're up by his ears. Except for that one. No, that's it going up right there. Wonder why that one is different. Is that just his shoulders moving up and down? Is that what that is? I don't know. It might be his shoulders. Like that's just part of his shoulders going up and down. That would be interesting. if we can make that part of the shoulders? No, because then it would bonk into the head whenever they lift their arms up. So yeah, that wouldn't be cool. It's going to have to be part of the chest. So we'll start, like I said, right here. This is going to go... Let's take this... Let's put it there for now. This is actually a bad reference shot because those things are moved around. This. Let's put that there for now. I wanna actually move these down. In the shots, they're all up here. No, even that shot has these lowered down to about here. Wow. Well, that's not useful to me. And in this one, the feathers block his chest, the important part I need. I may just have to make this however it looks good. Interesting. Alright, we're gonna go off this one because I like how you can see that this is going back inside and then it starts going up and then it goes back. So I'm gonna use this one as reference, and I am going to just make this like this, the gaps between these two look okay. So this is gonna be a little bit lower, this is gonna be a little bit higher, like that, and then this is gonna be a little bit higher there. Okay. And then we gotta get in here. We're just gonna slide these forward to there. This. Doing that number. Actually, I want just those two. I think what we're gonna have is... No, actually that can stay there, and then we'll just move this back to hug the chest a bit more. Because the weird thing is, he's got just like a box for a chest, like just a bloop, bloop for like the base. You can see it really clearly in that one. There's the top edge is right above the golden vent things, and it's just bloop, bloop. And if that is flush, then that means that this has to be flush here. So then let's undo. Let's just leave that flush for now. And then I'm gonna poke this out more. I think that's the illusion, is that the outside, this is flat and this comes out. I think that's how they create that illusion. So let's do that. And then I don't want that selected. Unselect. There. I think that's about right. There. And we'll create another box. Actually, I'm just gonna copy this box. Boop. And for this box, we want these to be here. That's probably a good distance, and Actually, leave that there. Flush. And then actually want this going in a little bit like that. And I want these in a touch. I want a little tiny gap on the outside here. There you go. There's a little tiny gap. And then we're going to copy it again. But I think we need to go back to this one really quick, and these and this are going to get about halved. It looks much better. Okay. And then go back to this one. Bring it down. This one's going to have a bigger gap. That's about right. I think this is going to go back pretty far, actually, like that. Oh man. I think I'm going to have to drag all of these out farther because the top portion does like this number. We'll see. Now we get to play with this guy because he is up here. Right in the nape of the neck there. And this one moves in. Actually, we're going to leave that there. I'm going to have to cheat. We're going to leave this here for now. And we're going to insert a vertex right there. Don't do that for a game model, you guys, because now this polygon has five edges on it. We're gonna bring our little friend up again. Like so. That's about right. Here we go. And this guy, I'll leave him flush on the back. We're gonna leave the back flush. I wanna just have a box for this guy's chest. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, did not mean to do that. Now for this, is also fairly steep. And did I do the front? I did not do this one. That's the one I didn't do. That one and like that. Alright, so now you can see that there's this that's really steep there. Also, I need that polygon's gonna need to. Yeah, it's gonna look really gross. Alright, so what I need to do, I am going to take these two vertices. I'm gonna punch them out here, I think. I think that's much better. Okay, we're gonna just work with that, and then we're gonna go down to this one. Take these two, punch it out to there, and this guy. These two going out to there. Now, there's that big thing, and now you can see how this is overhanging that, which is what I did not want. But that gives us this shape here. I'm gonna need to symmetry these, I think. Just a moment. Excuse me. I'm gonna wait to collapse that really quick. I'm gonna save it after I apply these. Don't know why it continually puts it there. Alright, so we can see here more. Yeah, you can see that edge. I don't like that. I think what I need to do is we're going to insert a vertex in here. We're going to make this flush. I think that's the only way to make this look the way I want it to. Yeah, because we need a little like bump to give it more depth than that. Alright, let's and then we're going to have to bring up the back sides for these. Let me save this really quick. And then let's go into the poly edge really quick. I'm going to insert a vertex there. That work? There. Not sure if it worked or not. There. And we're going to lift this up to here. Yes, we did make another one. Okay, this one needs to be removed. There we go. Okay, that goes there, and then this one we want to that's what we want right there. That gives us a much nicer thing. Alright, so and then we're gonna go back to this vertex really quick, and we're gonna puff it out a little bit. Bring it down here. Maybe up a little bit. Gives it a little bit more like oomph. I like that. Okay. Maybe something like that. I like that better. Okay. So that is... So this is back to a quad up here, and then these are tris down here. So these are all... Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Nope, still has 5. We can cheat. Because we added a vertex there by connecting that. There you go. So if you want to keep your models clean, just make sure you don't have anything going over 4. Beautiful. Okay. Now we need to go in the back of this right here. Drag this up. Let's put it like there. I think that's plenty. And I'm gonna go to this guy. Same thing. So this was our top part, I think. We're gonna bring this up to the other guy up here. Make it look a lot better, but that means we're gonna have to move some of these other pieces. I want these to be not parallel. I want them to have a little bit of a greater angle here than that. And this one's small enough, we shouldn't have to worry about that. And then this has to stay flush on the bottom. So that should have fixed. Okay, yeah, you see how this is still going in? That's gonna happen. How do you... I think they have it flush? Is that a flat? Oh my goodness, okay. It has to be... Oh, that's very, very steep. Okay, so what they did here is that angle that's in here, the one that's here, that one, is parallel with that line right there, that leading edge there, and that's how they got that to look. Yeah, that's how steep that is. Okay, that sucks. That really sucks because that goes all the way up to there. Let me pop out of here, go in here, move this vertex so that it's correct. Man, that sucks. I'm gonna leave that parallel with this because this now has to move up here. And these, that needs to go there. And let's see if I get another close-up of his chest. There's none that really have the right angle that I want. I think we're going to collapse the back a bit. These back edges here. This one, there. Back to this guy. Move these two. There. And this guy. This one. This one. Move back to... We're gonna go there for now because that's not gonna go back anymore. There. You can see how steep that is there. The gap. Now these... That's about right there. I just need to bring the nose in a little bit again. It's a little bit too deep now. So now that I have all of these, I could combine this all into one object and then just take this nose, drag all of these vertices back, which I may do. I think I'm going to save it. And then we're going to collapse. And attach. There's another screenshot I'm looking at that looks like it goes down and then does that number. Let me back up so I can see this. In which case, this is actually too far back. I didn't see that before. I think we're happy with that. You know what? I think that's good enough. I think that's close enough. So we're going to leave that as is. That's going to be his chest shape. Now cannon. So these are collapsed. They have a nice seam down the middle. And I actually like how these shapes change on the side. Not quite perfect, but they should be good. I like the complex playing that's occurring in some of these shapes. So there's that. And we are going to have his chest thing is supposed to... Here's those fun interplaying proportions. I'm gonna move forward a little bit right there. Because this is so messed up. I think let's put that back. Let's actually move this. I'm gonna move it down like that because his plate is supposed to be like right there. I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna assume that the shot where it was equal with his ears was because all these other ones are lower than that. So I lowered this down. We're gonna save that again. And I think we're getting somewhere. I think we're getting somewhere. All right. Next up. Let's make his chest box really quick since we're doing references based on that. It goes down to there. We're just gonna draw it out to there. And it only goes to there. Okay, there's his chest box. And he has an ab box that goes... Wow, they really started with just boxes. It's wider than the chest box. Let's scooch on down here. It goes down to his pelvis, I think. There's actually a shot that points, this shot here, it points up and you can see his crotch. And this box right here is the same one that I saw coming out from the top of the hexagon side. There, so that's like his waist, and then his legs are attached on the outside of that. He's got like a gear going on down there. Not quite sure. Probably just gonna end up being a robo diaper underneath the thing. If anything, I mean this is here, so I don't think there's really anything necessary underneath there between the legs. Let's make this box. Look, I think from the other photos I was looking at, it starts at the same front leading edge. I think it's a little bit farther forward. We'll start it here. And I don't have a shot of the back to know what it looks like from the back. And we're just gonna drop it down to here, I think. It's gonna go a little bit wider than the chest. Like that. And this is actually supposed to be on the outside of that. Because this is supposed to be how wide that chest box is. Then I may need to bring these in. Height. There. There. There's a gap there. He has some of his organic bits, so let's actually leave that where it was. That's correct. This needed to move in. Look, there's no room in between the mask and this. I may move this down again. I think I will. We're gonna base on some other references where this is like super low. That way it's out of the way of the helmet. Let's move that. The shot I'm looking at actually has it down here. Like the bottom of it is down there. The top of it is right about where it was up there. But farther over. Let's just do it right there, I think. And then these. Let's get out. Let's move this down to there. And then let's move it's easier to move the vertices than to change the width. Let's move that there to the nape of the neck. That way there's lots of room for the helmet to move around beneath the jaw. And then this guy, I'm just going to scale it down. I don't want to play with the vertices too much. Like that. And we're just going to have a gap underneath. I think this is a specific good spot for it. I do need to slide it forward after I scaled it down. Right there. And we're going to move this forward to that. That's fine. I think the other one is fine where it's at. Take a quick peek at what we've got poking out of the body here, so you can see the body is still all of this. The exposed bits are all that's going to be built. We're going to cut out all the parts that intersect with the body. So we have this so far. We still need to play with this guy a little bit, because I think we are going to delete that, or if I detach as an object, and then grab that face, I'm going to move that back in here. This is going to get brought in because she uses 1/2 inch foam, and that's about how thick this is. So I'm just going to bring that in like that. That should be good. We'll leave that full size. So that should be, yeah, it fills in that piece. She can cut off the edges how she needs to get it to fit inside. I think that will work best. Make it look clean. And I think take another look at that. There we go. That's how that looks. There's no shading, so you can't tell that the piece inside is inset from that. This, after we scaled it, needs to get moved up a little bit. There you go. I'm going to save before anything happens. Alright, I think I need a break. But if I take a break, I'm afraid to come back to it. So I'm gonna keep going. Let's work on the head. Let's take a peek at his head. This is a fine shot. So he's got like a muzzle going on. Let's start with that. Whenever I build faces, I always start with just a plain. So let's start with his little nose. He's got a little doggy nose. There you go. Alright, so that's what I start with. A plane. Literally just 4 vertices connected. This is going to be up a little bit. This shot actually has a pretty dead-on shot of his face is what I'm looking at. His lips are completely straight even though you can tell that there's depth. So that he has like a little pop-out muzzle. So that's a good straight-on shot. I think that is good. So this is his little nose bit right here. Actually needs to be a little bit wider. Like that. And we're going to go ahead and start off with the symmetry modifier. There we go. So we have his nose, which I will again bring in just a hair. That's why I wanted to have symmetry so I can see it better. And I'm gonna lower this a little bit. I think that'll be about right. Okay, and now I'm going to select all of the edge vertices here. I'm going to go to the side and move those back. And that is about right for that. We just need to move this back down flush. And we'll move this down. It's actually, when you get up here, it does more of a, that and just more of a triangle shape up top. There you go. And then, since we've already added depth, let's bring that out here. We'll put that right there for now. A little closer. Just enough room for the nose. And that is gonna be one piece, I think. Make another plane. this is just inside from there. We're gonna have to follow these, so let's put that there. Bring that up a bit, and then we're gonna take this guy to there. Put that there, and then we're gonna bring both of these down, I think, a bit more. It's got kind of that Five Nights at Freddy's look. I actually like it rounded. It's a lot closer when it looks rounded. Okay. And then same thing as before, we're going to grab the edges on the outside. Not sure how far back. I don't know how big of it. I like that image. It's pretty flush. Here's a side shot. You can just see it's like boop, boop, boop. And you know why I gave him such a short snout. It's it's got a very short snoot. It's a little bit longer than this though. It's going to go back about that far. This needs to come up flush. I missed one. And that means this needs to move out. Oh, he's so terrifying. Look at this. There's our Five Nights at Freddy's bird dog. Burp, 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 burp. And then she can just trim off the corner edges of these because they're not quite that sharp. They're rounded. All the edges are rounded on his muzzle. Because they're all NURBS, you guys. They're all NURBS. Everything on all these organic shapes are just NURBS. And then I think we're going to work on his chest, or his cheek, next. Which is a fun shape. That is... Let's start right here. This is the biggest part here. I'm on the wrong side. I need to do the other side. I need to keep everything symmetrical. Let's put that point there, and then let's do... He's got... that. That actually looks about right. Let's put both of these out right here. Oh, I should have gone south with that one. There you go. That will go down to the jaw. This one goes out a bit to the jaw. This comes down. This goes about here. And then this goes about there. Oh, this is a weird piece. All these organic parts. Stupid organic transformers. It goes there. We're gonna go down again. It's gonna turn into a little boop and snoot. There. I think we're actually just gonna remove that one. There you go. Nope, can't have it. It needs to do that. There actually is a little edge there. And then this actually is going to go back. This, 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 and this. And we're going to grab that while we're at it. We're going to go there. This is going to be right about there, I think. Let's go to that side shot we had. There. And this is going to go there. 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 Here. And there. Let's take a look at that. Looks about right. Let me see what this looks like up like that. I like it better like that. Okay. It's got a weird face, you guys. There's no getting around it. It's a weird face. And then he's got his little face feathers. 3 little cheek feathers that are really, really plain. That come out from underneath there. We're gonna be on the side for this one. And we're gonna make these very, very plain. We are literally just going to go inside of our edible poly so we have more options. Let's go on in line. We're gonna insert a vertex right there. We're gonna go back up to vertex and put that up there. And we're gonna put that down there. And that's his feathers. We need 3 of those. We're gonna move this over though, like that. Okay. They're gonna be different lengths, so I'm just gonna make those. There you go. We're gonna take the top one. That's about right, actually, right there, that angle. It's got a weird angle. It's gonna come out to probably here. We're gonna go with that. This one's going to go like that. And this one's off kilter a little bit. Like that. There you go. Now, this one's going to be there. It's going to rotate. I need another shot. That may actually be too much. Let's take a look. That's about right. One more. Let's try another 5 degrees. That is correct. Okay. I'm going to do the top one next because this one overlaps the other one. It's going to determine where that one sits. I think these all come out at the same angle. What I think I need to do is... Oh, they really just look like that. Like on the model, they're just flat like that. I'm gonna tilt them, I think, 1 degree, like a 5. Because it looks really ugly like that. You know what? That one can be flush. I don't care about the bottom one. And that means that this one... I'm gonna need to tilt this one. They made everything so fluffy. So fat. There you go. There's your full coverage right there. Alright, that's what we're gonna say his face looks like. He's got those weird feathers. Bird dog. Next up, let's do his ears, I think. Which kind of... Whew. The rest of his head is really plain. Let's actually do the rest of his face really quick. The rest of his head. Because I'm literally just gonna... Boop. We're gonna do this. we also need to save. We're gonna actually flatten that one out. And we'll leave that one be. Where's that back shot? Can't see his head, of course. He has like a mane or something. I may need to find pictures of the toy. Yeah, he has like a weird fuzzy cowl, basically. Alright, so this, what we just made here, this is just going to be for our reference. I think she should just wear a hood, like a whatever color hood that this needs to be, and then put the mask on top of it. This thing is just like a faceplate that goes on top of it, which would be incredibly comfortable. So I hope that she can actually do that. So we're just going to leave that there. If it's just a reference, then I don't need that. We are going to make it see-through. Looks like we have a blimp in the head. Look at his weird head. I need to add... Actually, I don't. If she's making this out of 1/2 inch, then that gap's gonna be filled there. That's fine. Let's do the lenses really quick. The eye lenses. Make that front shot again. Man, his eyes are really close in the middle. They come really close to the center. I'm gonna put that back where it was. Alright. And bird dog's lens. And save. Bird dog's faceplate that everything else gets attached to. Alright, it's just like, it's like a mask. This is, it looks exactly like a superhero mask. That's exactly what it looks like. Let's move this here. Okay. After this, I'm gonna take a fiver. I need to move up and move around, walk around. And we'll be halfway through the stream then, so that'll be a good time. Hey, 2 Point. Yes, I exclusively worked on Mike for the past, like, month to make sure that I got him done in time for PAX. And now we're working on a new costume commission for somebody else. Oscar Mike currently does not have any photos from the photographer back yet, but people have taken shots of me on the floor and posted them on Twitter. I don't understand Twitter fully. Let me see if there's like a way that you can see pictures have been tagged in. Because that would be the easiest way. Actually, let me just grab a link. I think. That would require me finding it. I'm very, very bad at Twitter. Okay, this is... It has photos that I have posted, but not photos people have posted of me. That's what I want to know. Come on, Twitter. Alright, if I just scroll back on my thing, my page thing, it should... Nope. Does not show me everything I've been tagged in. I don't know how to do this. It's too complicated. I just looked at them earlier, too. Somebody had retweeted. Alright, I'm gonna go to notifications and I'm gonna scroll down forever. That may be best. Until I find them. Ah, found it. Alright, so this is the tweet. Well, it just... Yeah, I think this should take you to the actual thing. Boop. There you go. Hi. Welcome. I'm glad you came to check me out. Yeah, there's pictures of the costume there. I don't know how to save images from Twitter because it doesn't like I think they prevent people from downloading images. They're like, "Oh, you can't have this image." And I would like to have these images. So I'll just leave that open. Yeah, that's what we were working on the past month. So we're working on a new one for somebody else here. This is let's actually get out of here. So this is what we have so far of this one. And the character is a bird dog here. That guy. It's a transformer. Let's see what other pictures. I think that was... Oh, there's another one that I missed. That one. That's probably one of the best pictures there. It's a full body shot, so he's a transformer. Someone's commissioning me to make the pattern for them. So we're off to a good start here. Let me move this out of the way so you can... Oh my goodness. I keep clicking in the wrong spots. So you can kind of compare. Let's go back to that bird dog right there. You can't really see his tabard in that one. Like, we were using this one as reference, but I think this is a fan-made model and image. I don't think this is canon. Because there's some details in this one that are missing, I think. I don't know. No, there's the little things that are there, but some of these things are off by a little bit. So I was reluctant to use this as a reference image here. So anyway, yeah. So that's what we're building here. And we're working on his face right now. It's just about to take a break after I finish his face. So let's go back to our face reference, which that's the good one. That's our straight on one. And let's zoom in here again and get back to working on his face. Yep. Let's actually line that up with that. It'd be easier to keep it flush. It's actually got a little bit of a gap there. This comes down a little bit so that that's a straight. Actually, I like it a little bit puffy. We'll put that out there. This is where this piece gets weird, because with the lighting on this shot, it's really funky. It's hard to tell what's going on. Let me just leave that like that, and then do another one here. This comes in a little bit. There's a little bit of a gap there. We're going to combine these two. We're going to weld these. Boop. Oh, thank you. I don't use imagers, so I'm very bad. But yeah, now I can download them. Thank you! Save image. Saved. Save image. Saved. Alright. Thank you very much. Now I have some more pictures of Mike. Until the photographer gets back to me. Yeah. Bye! I'm glad you had a good break, hopefully. Have fun at work. Alright, let's get back here. Open this guy back up. He's got an angry looking little arch, honestly. Oh, I think that's just from the specific shots. Let's have that nice and round then. And I think we're gonna go back to the side shot, because this is where things get weird. I actually want to unweld those other pieces, because, yeah, I'm gonna leave those like that. That's gonna go out here. This is gonna move up to where that one was. Because this turns into the ear and then this just comes up underneath. Oh, that's so weird. Let's start with this really quick. Bird dog. So weird. Let's move this here. And these are gonna come out a little bit. That's like the little crook. Move these up. Now this is where things get fun. What is this? What is this doing? Oh, I'm missing this guy right here. I'm like, what is it doing? There we go. Let's puff that out a little bit. Nope. This goes back really far. This is the tuck under. That can actually stay underneath. That one needs to come out a little bit more. Okay, alright, now we get to fun, weird things. Alright, this line here. One more up underneath that. Stretch that out again. Should be fine there. That should be fine. That's gonna tuck up underneath. And now this guy, this one here is where things get really interesting. I don't have any good shots. I think. His ears are super flat, you guys. They are super flat. I think I'm just gonna fold it over like she can just fold the foam to get the top part of the ear. Like I would probably just lay some foam on top. But I think she would prefer to fold it over. I think it would appease her perfectionist tendency. So let's grab that edge and swing that up here. And then we're gonna bring this guy right here. This one's gonna go right here. And this is gonna be really, really fun doing this one here. That goes probably there. There. Let's start with that. Then get another side shot. It's actually pretty close. So his ear goes up like this. And I think his eye is up a little bit higher when he's neutral, like that. That's about right there. So we can move that back down to there. Let's get this poking out like that. Got his little weird dog ear things. And then I need this edge and this edge. It's actually more like just this one. Go in and down. This is gonna be weird. We're gonna do both. And then we're target welding this to make that a try. Go back there. And then this goes here, there. That's about right there. There is bird dog. So now I have to figure out that this I need please change. I beg of you. It doesn't think I'm clicking on it. Why? Because this other thing is in the way? I think I have to hide this, you guys. Hang on. Hide. Okay, great. I can see this one now. Will you let me select it? Please. Nope. It won't let me edit any of them. Great. Why? What is my life? You can hear me clicking, right, guys? Nothing's moving. Sad. Okay. How about I'm gonna cheat. This should cheat. There you go. There's the cheat. Just put the edge in there. This needs to come out more. There you go. These go in. That was a couple of sneezes. I think that means that this needs to come out. Man, it really does just kind of sink in there a bit, but we're gonna have to do that number, I think. That should work. And then need to modify this because he looks angry. Give him more of a wide-eyed appearance here. There you go. Bird dog now has a face. Weird ear and everything. So that, I actually think, let me take a look at that side shot one more time. His jaw comes back just a little bit. His upper jaw does not, his bottom jaw does. Got kind of a recessive jaw going on there. I don't think I want that because it's gonna look weird. I'm gonna have to do all of them. Or rather, since we talked about this, doing that. And that should help a tiny bit. There you go. It's not as flat now. And then I'm gonna cheat to make this easier on her. We're going to take And we're going to save it before anything happens, before the world ends. And I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. I think that is a good spot to be in, especially with the references that we have. Most of them are of his chest. So I am going to take a 5er. I need to move my legs. I'll probably eat a snack. And then we'll come back and we're going to work on Bird Dog some more. Make sure it's saved again. Double, triple check to make sure it's saved. And then I might I might pull up a few episodes to see some of this in motion, so that I have a better understanding of some of these shapes. Some of these are really basic, like his forearms are very, very narrow. And we might do his feet. His feet are pretty simple. We have another shot of his feet there. It's a good shot of his foot. Are those webbed? I think they're webbed. Why did they web them? Look at that. Bird dog is duck dog. Alright, yep. I'm gonna take a 5er. I'll get back to you guys in a bit.